Hello everyone, it's Patricia, your independent Scentsy consultant from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Today's video is one that I've been meaning to get to, but I struggled with picking the scents. So this is called my strong and long video. I usually pick 12 scents that are strong in the current catalog and 12 scents that are long lasting. And sometimes we have overlap and we have one scent that overlaps this time. And what I did this catalog season is I only focused on the regular catalog scents that are more fall and winter appropriate. Now, sometimes that might be what scents I personally would warm in fall, winter, and they could actually be in the catalog year round. You can always check out my spring and summer strong and long video because some of those scents are still in the catalog, and yes, they are still strong and they are still long lasting. So I excluded Bring Back My Bars. I excluded any scents of the month that are from this year, and I excluded things like limited time only collections. So I stuck to the catalog. I went with my instincts. Sometimes when I double guess myself, it's because sometimes there's so many options with fall and winter scents because typically they are all above average performers when you compare them to spring and summer. They tend to be longer lasting. They tend to be stronger. So there's a lot of scents that are not in this video that are still excellent scents, and there are a lot of scents that may not be in this video because I may not have warmed them yet. Believe it or not, I have not warmed every scent in the catalog, but I'll be working on it. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the strong scents. Now, I just want to say that I did struggle with selecting some of these scents because, like I said, there's a lot of choices, but I basically said for strong scents, which scents would I not hesitate to put in my open layout, which is a very challenging open to second floor, big, huge zone, very challenging. So I think if these work for me in my layout, they'll probably work for you guys if you like strong scents. So let's talk about each one in detail. So the first one on my list is apple and cinnamon sticks. This is in the spice category. It says basically apple peel, spiced white pumpkin, and a touch of oak. Whoa, I find this one is very strong. You put it in the warmer and you can definitely smell it, no problem. It's very strong. It's almost like an apple cologne. That oak gives a little bit of a different twist, and the white pumpkin does something as well. This is not your typical apple and cinnamon stick scent. It's very different, unique. You should check this one out if you're interested. If you like strong scents, it's a good one. Not a favorite of mine, but definitely strong. The next one I've put on my list is Cinnamon Bear. Cinnamon Bear is also in the spice category, and it's described as crisp, spicy cinnamon with a touch of cloves. And it used to say reminiscent of red hot candies. It no longer says that, but this is nice and strong red hot cinnamon. There's so many people that love strong red hot cinnamon. This will work perfectly for you, and it's a great mixer to add some cinnamon fragrance in with other scents. The next one I picked was Be Merry. This was a Farmer Scent of the Month from November 2018, and it's an outstanding Christmas type scent, and it's in the wood section, and it says joy abounds in pine boughs dotted with holly leaf and cassis. This is nice and strong, and I should say a lot of strong scents, they tend not to be long lasting. They're kind of strong out of the gate and they fizzle. This may be in that category for me. I find it doesn't last a very long time, but I like it so much I'm willing to go with it. It's basically like a beautiful Christmas tree wreath, shopping for a tree scent, and then you smell like a cranberry or a berry, and it's almost in perfect harmony, 50-50. It's a great one. That is Be Merry. The next one on my list is Blueberry Cheesecake. Now this is available year round, but for me, it's more of a fall winter appropriate scent because it's a little bit heavier. It's in the bakery section, and it's a bestseller. It says thick, rich New York cheesecake with a light graham cracker crust and delicious blueberries. Now, this one is very strong on the cream cheese, and some people don't like that note. So this is a love it or hate it scent for some people. My family doesn't really like it. I'm an okay blueberry cheesecake fan. I'm okay with it, but it's not something I would look to warm often. But this one really does well down in my open layout. You get the cream cheese, you get the blueberries. You even get a hint of that graham, which is really nice. So that one is outstanding in strength. So the next one on the list is also in the bakery section, and it's a chocolate scent. And it's the stronger of the two chocolate scents that we have, in my opinion. Hug in a Mug is also strong for me, but brownie batter is very strong. So brownie batter is described as rich, heavenly notes of baked brownie, cocoa powder, and vanilla bean will set the stage for some serious cravings. If you like chocolate scents, this is what you want. It's very heavy on the chocolate, a thick chocolate batter. Sometimes reminds me of a little bit of a cooked chocolate cake with a gooey center, like those chocolate lava cakes. That's kind of what it reminds me of, because I do get a little bit of a baked component, but that is brownie batter, will fill an open layout easily. The next one is a former scent of the month. I believe it was from October 2018, but it made its way into the catalog, and it is Butter Pecan, and it is also in the bakery section. And this is a vanilla-based scent, and sometimes vanilla-based scents are not strong, but this one is definitely strong. So basically, Butter Pecan is described as, if fall had a flagship fragrance, this blend of candied pecan and maple folded with butter would be a strong contender. So yes, it's like a creamy, rich, buttery vanilla scent with a little bit of maple and a little bit of nuttiness. And this is so nice warming. I enjoy this a lot more as time goes on. So that is Butter Pecan. Love it. All right, the next one is also a former scent of the month. This one was scent of the month for 2019, I think September 2019, or was it September 2018? Regardless, it is called Caramel Apple Craze, red wax, beige front. And this one here, it's in the fruity section, but really it probably should be either in the bakery section because it is got that caramel note. It's basically creamy golden caramel, sweet red delicious apples, and whipped vanilla. And this definitely has that red apple and caramel component, which a lot of people were going with Johnny Appleseed and caramel sugar cone to get that. But this is a pretty close form of that. It's very strong. It does well for me. I actually sometimes mix Johnny Appleseed with this, which is also a strong scent, but this is a very good strong scent, and it has like a couple phases as it goes, so it's very pleasant. Nice creamy caramel, nice strong apple, very good. Okay, the next one is a new release for this year, and it's actually not really fall and winter appropriate, but I thought I better add it in because it's pretty strong in my opinion, and that is Cloudberry Dreams. And that is in the fruity section. It's a new release, like I said. It's sweet raspberry and a whisper of rose soar through billowy bursts of peach and vanilla. And this one, it definitely has more than a whisper of rose to me. It's a little bit of a scream of rose. Ooh, some people get a little rose, some people get a lot. I get a lot. You can also smell raspberry. I do not get a lot of peach or vanilla, and I have a little tiny bleb in my wax. That sometimes happens, I'm not sure why, but I call it a wart. This is Cloudberry Dreams, very strong, appropriate for an open layout, and a new release to the catalog this year. All right, the next one I definitely struggled with. Which of these two should I put in? And I'm gonna just kind of mention one, but the next one I went with was Stroopwafel Delight, and that is in the bakery section. And basically Stroopwafel Delight, it says, a cozy twist on a traditional Dutch treat made with creamy vanilla, rich melted butter, and cinnamon. I don't get a lot of cinnamon. I remember with this, I get a lot of dough, almost like uncooked dough or very gently cooked waffle-like dough, sprinkling of like cinnamon brown sugar, but not much cinnamon. So if you're nervous of that, don't be. This is really strong in my open layout, and it can kind of almost make it into day two. A lot of these scents, the way I divvy scents up in my warmer, I use slightly less wax down there, and I intend for it to last a day, and then I'm okay with changing it out. So I usually use 4 cubes amongst 3 warmers, and I leave it going traditionally a long full day. If it's a work day or something like that, it might last 2 or 3 days because you warm shorter spurts. But this one does really well for me. I can definitely smell that one, no problem. Now I just want to mention as an honorable mention, this is Breakfast in Bed, and this is one that does not do the greatest for me in my open layout, but it's very strong in other areas of my home, and a lot of people have commented this is very strong. So I just wanted to say, personally, I don't get great performance of this, but most people do, so keep that in mind. All right, the next one on my list, I definitely wanted to include a tree scent. This one was the one that popped into my head as being the strongest for sure. Now, most tree scents are strong, but I feel like this is the strongest for me, and it is iced pine. So iced pine is basically described as, the scent notes are basically fir, pine, and peppermint. We'll skip all the long-winded stuff. Yeah, and I love peppermint scents. Peppermint tends to be strong, as you'll see in a second. And pine and fir tend to be strong as well. So this is a little bit stronger than Very Snowy Spruce for me, and even stronger than Pretty and Plaid for me. Those are all pretty good performing scents. This is a great one. Now, the next one is a typical, I would say, fall scent, and it's called Maple Apple Bourbon. And Maple Apple Bourbon, I believe, is in the spice category, and it is a bestseller this year. So it says, juicy red apple and rich maple get in the holiday spirit with a splash of bourbon. And I'm typically not a maple gal, although I did like butter pecan, and I like this one too. It's got a richness to it, and when you put it in the warmer, I don't even know if it's overly strong, but it's very saturated in the air, like a thick saturation of scent in the air. And this is what this scent does for me. And it's very homey and cozy and fall-like. Maple Apple Bourbon. I really like this one, even though I don't like maple scents, and I hope that it comes back again next year. And last but not least, in the strong category, I wanted to include this scent because it's pretty strong traditionally, and it's perfect peppermint. I would say Peppermint Rush is a little bit stronger than this, but this is basically in the fresh category, and it's basically the scent of pure peppermint. Now, in saying that, I feel like every once in a while I get a tiny bit of vanilla, and here we have another bleb. I feel like I get the tiniest hint of vanilla, and maybe that's why it doesn't seem as strong as Peppermint Rush. But perfect peppermint, it's great on its own, great as a mixer, and in fact, as I film this video, it has sold out because it's traditionally warmed quite often this time of year heading into late winter. So that is perfect peppermint. So those are my strong scents. Let's move on to the ones that I find are long-lasting. So let me get my list. Now, long-lasting for me, sometimes long-lasting depends on the room that you're warming it in, the temperature of the room, the perception of your nose, even on that particular day. It can vary from day to day, or even especially what type of warmer you're using. If you're using glass warmers or mini warmers or low watt element warmers, you're definitely going to make a scent last longer. And I welcome you to check out my warmer tour, how to pick out a good performing Scentsy warmer if you want to learn more about approaching different types of warmers for strength and longevity. But let's talk about the long-lasting scents that I picked. Alrighty, the first one, I got lots going on down here, sorry. The first one has to be this scent. It jumped into my head. I love it. Most people love it. It's a good one. And this one's a little bit old, so it's tinted the back, but it's Winterberry Apple Tea. This is in the fruity category, and it's basically described as winter tea cozies up to cranberry, apple, and honey. Yes, 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 yes. If you've not tried this, I suggest you go on the catalog and pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up, because it's also fairly strong. So it's so rich and wonderful. And it reminds me a little bit of sweet plum pastry without the pastry. I love this one. I really love this one. It will always be one that's in my Scentsy cupboard, and that is Winterberry Apple Tea. The next one is a Pretty Blue Wax. And this one is in the fresh category, and it's been around a long time, and it's called Eskimo Kiss. And let me tell you, this one just goes on and on and on. It's very long lasting. Now, a lot of these ones that are long lasting, sometimes they are long lasting at a lower intensity. So keep that in mind. They're not going to be strong out of the gate always. They're kind of slow and steady wins the race approach. So let me read you the notes on Eskimo Kiss. It says blackberry jam, caramelized brown sugar, vanilla and amber, and a softly romantic scent. And yes, it's a very interesting scent, unique and hard to imagine from the description, but it's like a perfumey, bright, clean, fresh scent. Very different. It's very perfumey. If you're not into perfumey scents, then I believe it's the amber that does that, but you may want to steer clear of this. But if you're interested and you love to not change your scents often, then definitely pick up this one, Eskimo Kiss. I love it. Most people love it, and that's why it comes back so often. The next one is a new release, and it's a gray wax, and this is what I call a lingerer. So this is a scent that once you turn it off, you can still smell it for a while in the room, and it is around the campfire. And this is in the woods category, and it basically says, make some memories in the mountain air as notes of fresh fallen wood and smoky embers help set the scene. This reminds me of being in a wooded cabin at a resort that I go to with my family sometimes, and my sister tried to light the fire and you could smell the smokiness. And then in the background, we had a nice fresh scent from Scentsy. I think it was A Friend Like Me. And all those things in combination reminds me of around the campfire. Now, some people say this is so authentic, they think their house has an issue going on, but this is a superb mixer. So let's say you're not crazy into the scent on its own. You could mix it with like Pacific Sandalwood, Satin Sheets, Marshmallow Mint. There's so many options, and kind of cream it up, sweeten it up a little bit. That would be great. Even something like a sugar cookie or vanilla bean buttercream would work. Very long lasting and a great mixer, and that is around the campfire. All right, the next one is what I call the sexy bedroom scent. And I'm sure if you watched my channel, you know which scent I'm gonna hold up. It's the beige wax of sheer leather. This one here is one that I traditionally think of in the cooler months, not necessarily the spring and summer months, although this one has been sticking around all year long, which is a great sign. So the way I describe this is it's the holiday season and you're going to a party back before coronavirus, and everyone is looking great and they smell a little bit perfumey or a little bit cologne-y. And as you're greeting everybody and you're giving them hugs, somebody has the beautiful smell of being all dolled up and having a little bit of perfume or slight cologne on. You can almost go unisex with this, but most people say it's a little more cologne-y to them. Anyway, as you're hugging them, they have a leather jacket, so you get the smell of them, but you get that hint of leather. It's very nice. I call it the metrosexual scent because it's very nice. Oh, hello. It's like Ryan Gosling in bar form. This is sheer leather. I love it. I should tell you the notes, shouldn't I? It says slip into something more sensual, like bergamot, a subtle hint of leather, and sandalwood. So yes. And to be honest, Saddle Up is another leather-based scent that we have that is also fairly long-lasting for me. I didn't include it, but I just want to give it a mention. The next scent is a beautiful silver-colored wax, and it is Silver Bells, and I love Silver Bells. Let me just smell it. Oh, it's like the most prettiest minty scent that you'd ever smell. And it's in the fresh category, and it's been around a long time. Here are the scent notes. It says mint candy canes dance over warm and welcoming winter pear, all enveloped in a velvety blanket of caramel and vanilla sugar. And that vanilla sugar is what it gives that perfumey body care vibe. You get a little bit of sweetness from pear, but it doesn't smell like it's pear at all. And you get like a little bit of sweetness and richness from caramel, but it doesn't really smell like caramel at all. And you get the lovely mint that's been jazzed up by all those other notes. So it's softened and subtle and beautiful. I love this one. Please pick it up and try it. Let me know what you think. Highly recommend, and it's very long lasting for me, and that is Silver Bells. And the next one is a red wax that's been around for a long time, and it is Cozy Fireside. And this is in the spice category, and it says warm spice notes with a zesty ginger and cinnamon. Yeah, and there's definitely a zest to this, and this will just go and go. And there's a bit of a smoky tone, which I believe is why it's called Cozy Fireside. So if you're not into smoky scents, that's something to know. But this one, if you're into those kind of scents, you definitely want to pick it up. If you like spicy scents, clove, cinnamon, ginger, definitely want to look into Cozy Fireside. All right, the next one is one that is actually available in bricks right now. I love this one. This is a former scent of the month, and I have a scent of the month sticker bar because I still have 2 bars of this, I believe, and it's a Snow-Kissed Cranberry. I love this one. It is so beautiful. And let me read you the scent notes. It says, frozen pink cranberries, trek through fresh fallen powder, white balsam, and glistening sugared woods. And to me, this reminds me of a body care cranberry. A girly body care teenager perfume cranberry. It's very soft, but pretty. It's a little bit glistening from the sugared woods. It doesn't really smell like a woodsy scent. It's beautiful. I would definitely pick this up. It's no longer available in brick, but you can pick it up in bar form. That is Snow-Kissed Cranberry. The next scent is also a former scent of the month from January 2018, and it's in the catalog now, and it is Vanilla Mint. And I really took a while to warm up to this because it is lighter, but it's very long lasting in a small zone. I tend to like strong scents, but I appreciate ones that are longer lasting because you can pick and choose where you're going to warm this. Great, great, great in a bathroom or a small bedroom. So the scent description is wintergreen frost sparkles over vanilla and frozen citrus. And the wintergreen might scare you, but it's a very nice twist on a minty scent. So if you're not really into peppermint or, you know, spearmint, you might want to go with this. It reads a tiny bit closer to spearmint to me, but it's a wintergreen and it has the frozen citrus, which I just think changes it up dramatically. And this is so nice. So nice. It's very sweet and kind of tangy at the same time and beautiful. So I really like Vanilla Mint. So the next one definitely had to make the list. It's not a new release, but it hasn't been around too long. It's a great scent. The nice pretty pinkish rose colored wax of Cozy Cardigan. So let me find you the notes. It says find bedded bliss in layers of soft suede, blushing rose, and amber silk. Now I'm not a big rose person, but this combined with the suede and this amber silk, and I'm not huge into amber, but this is really nicely done here. Yeah, I find this is very romantic. It's great in a bedroom, great in a bathroom. It's very pretty, and it's soft and subtle, but long lasting, and it just gives you a nice calmness, but loveliness. That is Cozy Cardigan. Very, very pretty, very, very like soft body care, cashmere, vanilla, coziness vibe. Beautiful. All right, so the next scent we have is one that I don't really like very much myself, but a lot of people do love this one, and that's probably why it made a return. It's the Orange Wax of Perfect Pumpkin Pear. Actually in the spice category, which I find kind of odd. I would not put it in the spice category. I would probably put it in the fruity or maybe woodsy. It's one of those complex scents. It's described as fall fresh pumpkin and crisp golden pears mingle with breeze drifting cloves and sandalwood accents. So it's got a lot going on. It kind of smells to me like a dusty pumpkin with like a dried pear and like fresh air cloves. I think if you like long lasting scents and those scent notes sound appealing to you, then you definitely want to give it a try. All right, the next one is the only one I don't have in bar form, and I thought I had this scent in bar form, and I'm actually getting some in a few days. I just don't want to hold off on doing this video anymore, so I will put a little insert in the corner of the bar, and it is called Candied Cranberry Pecan. Now, this one here is also a scent that I don't really like very much, but I definitely recommend it as a long-lasting scent. So it's actually in the bakery section. I always have to look for it because I can never remember where it is. To me, it's probably more fruity than bakery, but the scent description is classic cranberries and pecans are sweetened by sugarcane and a ribbon of brandied plum. So it reminds me a little bit of a homemade cranberry fruit roll-up with a spiciness of the spiciness that you get from like a splash of bourbon and the tiniest bit of nuttiness, but all those notes, that's I think why it keeps going and going. It's got a little bit of everything and it just seems long lasting to me. And like I said, more fruity to me than bakery, but they put it in the bakery section, and that is Candied Cranberry Pecan. And to wrap things up, we have the Repeat. And this one I always consider long lasting and I consider strong. So I actually have this one as my overlap scent, and it's the scent of apple and cinnamon sticks. Now, like I said, it's got apples, it's got the white pumpkin, and it's got the oak. And it just keeps going and going and going. And like I said, fairly strong. So if you like the combination of strong and long lasting, then you want to go with apple and cinnamon sticks. Put it on your list and pick it up. So there you have it. We have 12 scents that I find really strong and 12 that I find fairly long lasting. And definitely a lot of scents that I did not mention that are my true loves that are right behind all those scents. They're great too. This is actually a great time to buy a lot of Scentsy scents if you're a fall and winter person, because they tend to be great performers. So as always, thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. The video would not be complete if you guys didn't chime in on what ones are your favorite strong scents and what ones are your favorite long-lasting scents. If you're new to my channel and you like hearing about Scentsy videos, consider subscribing. I post usually a couple of times a week at minimum. I hope you guys have a great day in your neck of the woods. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.